We just received these watches here on the channel, guys. They're from Sinn. They're limited to 400 per colorway worldwide. I believe the blue one is sold out everywhere, and there's only a couple of colors left of these. So hopefully there's still enough of these left on the shelves by the time this review goes live. But I was really excited myself to get these on the channel because personally I wanted to have a look at the colors myself in the hand, and they've surprised me in a really good way. Let's check these things out. Welcome back, guys. So as you can see here, I've got the new Sinns. These are the 556 range, but they're in colors. And if for those who are thinking, gee, Sinn has copied Rolex or Omega, I've got to tell you something. Sinn was using these colors on their U1 model many years ago. So I like the fact that they've now incorporated them on the 556. However, these are limited to 400 pieces worldwide. Firstly, guys, I want to thank Fabio from TIMEONLY for sending these watches out to me. I absolutely hate him now because he's tempted me to buy these watches. These are so beautiful. The eye candy in front of me is amazing, and now I'm in a position where I've got to spend some money. But for those who don't know Fabio, he's brilliant. He's such a good guy, such a gentleman. I'll put you a link into his website. He sells some amazing watches. Get in touch with him. If you're in Australia, guys, especially, and you want to get one of these watches, I suggest you get in touch with him because there's only a handful left, being limited. They're going to fly off the shelves. Just like the blue one's gone, I believe the others aren't going to last very long either. Now that I've got them in the hand and I know what they look like in the flesh, I can tell you straight out, the colors are completely different from what the colors I've seen on the website, and different in a good way. But before I get onto the colors, I really want to share some stuff about these colors. Let me get into the specs and I'll show you exactly what we've got. For those who know the Sinn 556 range, it's basically a case diameter of 38.5mm. The height of the watch I measure at 11.2mm. The lug-to-lug distance is 45.4 and a lug width of 20mm. Now the watches feature a signed screw-down crown and it's 5.9mm, and it offers 200 meters of water resistance. And the weight of the watch is coming at 92 grams on their supplied straps and 145 on the bracelet size to my 18cm wrist. As you can see, I've put this one on the bracelet. I've actually started mucking around with these things as far as strap changes, and that's where all the fun began. As soon as I started experimenting with straps and different colors, these things came alive. Being German watches, the colors are lovely, but they're actually subdued. They're actually very toned down, which I actually appreciate and like because it's added a flair of class to a really good watch. I don't make it a secret that I love Sinn watches. I think they're a beautiful brand, 60 or so years old, made in Germany. These particular models feature a Solida top grade SW200, and I've put them all on the time graph, and guys, they're all running at +1 to +2 seconds per day. You pay a lot more money for watches that give you that sort of accuracy. I've reviewed the 556 range before, and these are no different. And you know what? Why I really wanted to get this on the channel was the colors, to see what they look like in the flesh, to see how they behave. Very surprised. I'm very surprised as far as there's some sort of fleck, some sort of sparkle in the colors. It's actually quite nice. It's just enough to bring some character and life into these dials, and they're really well done. The colors are understated, but also they pop when they need to. In certain lighting situations, these colors just come alive and pop, and the dial is just so nice to look at. Regardless of the colorway, I think these have been executed really well. Got to be honest with you guys, probably the most practical color out of all of these four is that green. If you look at the color itself, it's got that little sparkle in it, which is really nice. So marrying this up with a bracelet is spectacular. But putting it on a FKM rubber strap, gee, this is such a versatile looking watch. And it surprised me because this is one of the things that I said, that looking at the website, Sinn's photos that they supplied, they didn't do these watches justice. Having them here in the hand, I'm so happy because it gets me to experience them in different lighting situations, from indoors, outdoors, and really seeing what different straps can do to the character of these watches. Now turning the watch over, you can see that they feature the Solida top grade SW200. They're regulated, like I said, and they're all running within amazing spec. If you look at that rotor, instead of the traditional gold, they've got a silver rotor with the engraving on it, 1 of 400. Each colorway is limited to 400 worldwide. Now for me, if I look at these as a photographer, looking at the colors and I break them down, the yellow is called a citrine yellow, and it's very mustardy. It's very mustardy in color. It's got a slight speck, a slight sparkle in the actual color, which is nice, and it catches you off guard. In daylight, this watch seems to come alive. Indoors, it seems to be a little bit more subdued, so it's got a nice character about it. The carnelian red is another interesting color, and again, it changes its mood. It does feature that little speck or that little sparkle in the actual dial. And with differing lighting situations, again, this changes its mood, which is really cool. And it tends to lean a little bit more towards the blood orange, which is a real deep, interesting color. The blue color is called an aquamarine, and very pastel-y. It's got a slight silver going through it, very subtle silver, and it almost loses a lot of its color in certain lighting situations and goes more silvery. So an unusual color, an unusual blue. I'm quite intrigued by that. And lastly, if you're a conservative individual, the most practical color is that green, because of the way that it changes its mood again, but it's more subdued. It's not in your face like the other punchy colors, and I believe it can probably be used in a lot more situations. Now all the watches come on a canvas style strap. It's canvas on the top, leather base, very, very well made, very thick, really robust, and I like the fact that they actually come with a deployment clasp. It's actually signed, so a nice quality signed deployment clasp, which basically means that you're going to preserve the life of this particular strap. That's forward thinking. Now the lume on all the watches is quite nice. The handset seems to be nice and bright. Those high polished indices are also lume filled, not as bright, and probably don't last as long as the hands do. But overall, a very nice clean look. Now with all watches, there's positives and negatives, and look, with these, I love the colors. I love what I'm seeing here. These are very fresh, but in a conservative way. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And the negatives and the positives, well, the negatives, for me, they're limited to 400 pieces each colorway worldwide. That's a negative, because, you know, it would have been great to be able to purchase these off the shelf anytime. So in saying that, there's a limited quantity available. Number two, the price. It might be a putting off factor for certain people. These come in at 19.90 Australian dollars here in the land of Oz. In saying that, it's no different from the other 556 range, so very comparable prices. The fact that you're getting a limited number for the same price, that's pretty cool. Another negative is that the watches feature a ghost position on that crown. Being a Sellita SW200, I think manufacturers find it a lot easier just to leave the same movement, and if they offer a date complication, then it's already there for you. So they haven't removed it even on this model. It would have been nice if they did. They haven't. That's pretty much about it as far as the negatives. As for positives, well, just look at them. Just look at these things. They're fantastic. I absolutely love them. It's a refined tool. In my eyes, these are no longer boring. Sinn has added a fun element whilst maintaining that tool aesthetic. But dare I say, they've even added a touch of class to the 556. Hats off to the German design team. They've done really, really well. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I was really impressed with the colors of what I've seen here. Totally caught me by surprise, because what I saw on the website, from Sinn's website, not the same as what I'm seeing in the hand. These are refreshing. These are really nice to look at, really nice to handle, and just swapping up a few different straps here and there, there's some decent emotions that are coming off these watches, and that's pretty cool. I like that. Hit me up in the comments, guys. These are the new Sinns. A lot of eye candy, but a lot of mellow, subdued, moody stuff coming off these watches as well, which I really like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.